Okay, so we're just going to get right into it, and this is basically how to set up your scientific journal. So if you have a journal where it just has the composition book right here, that way you can just label it. So put your first, last name, then put science, or the name of the actual class is physical science, so you can write that as well, and then whatever period you're in. So I put Mr. Farr, science, and then obviously I'm in every science period, right? Okay. So let's just say you're like, well, I got one of those smooth ones, Mr. Farr. What do I do now? Okay, cool. Get a piece of tape, right? Masking tape. You could get blue painter's tape, something like that, right? That you can write on and write on it in a marker, right? So that your name is big. And then you can put science and then whatever period you're in. I just did it again. And then this is one of my students from last year. And she just got like a name tag. Boom. And just put it right on there. Put her name, what period, and then put physical science. And look at the heart, because she loves physical science. Awesome. And you will too. I don't even know where the camera is. Why am I looking everywhere? That's okay though. All right, so hopefully get this part done. If you need to pause, get this done. Totally cool, but we're gonna keep moving forward. Okay, so I think I skipped ahead 2 slides. No. Okay, cool. So I wanted to show you guys this contrast because here on the left, this is a picture, which it looks pretty good, you know, because it's taken with a pretty good camera. But then here on the right is a PDF. And if you're wondering how I got the PDF in there, I took a screenshot and then I cropped it down. But if you look, when things are transferred from a picture to a PDF, it makes it way brighter and then makes it much easier to read for the teacher. This is why teachers are going to request that you turn things into a PDF, because it just makes it way easier, okay? So I just wanted to point that out. But what we do want to look at is the entry activity. So you're going to label each entry activity. So you can either label it entry activity or you can label it EA and then put the number and the corresponding date. So that should always be on the entry activity, so you should have all that. You do not, and I repeat, you do not need to write down the question, but you do need to write in a complete sentence, which means that you don't need the question to figure out what the answer is. So make sure you write in a complete sentence. Also here you see that at a minimum you should be able to put 2 entry activities on the same page. So you have entry activity number 6, you have the date, entry activity number 7, and the date. Now if you look here, we were taking some notes, right, on this KHDBDCM. Maybe somebody knows what this is. If not, don't worry about it. We're going to talk about it when we talk about the metric system. But they took their notes right here and then they just drew a line, just like they have a line right here, and then just put their entry activity right here on the bottom. Totally acceptable, totally fine, okay? Because you want to use as much real estate as you can, right? You don't want it to be all scrunched up, but you want to use as much real estate as you can to make it clear and concise. And these check marks is when I would go through and grade, because there's certain things that I'm looking for to make sure that you had in there, okay? All right. This is the other thing I wanted to show is a lot of times, and this is kind of around the same time. So a lot of times you will see that I want you guys to draw pictures. So you just do the best you can as opposed to just writing, right? But I have pictures for you guys to draw, and that's a lot of ways how you're going to take notes. Now, they just, hey, this is the last note they took from that day. The very next day, they just drew a line. Boom, put their entry activity right here on the bottom, okay? Now, they wrote the riddle in. Some people really like to do that. That is not required, but you can write the riddle in if you would like. And if you see here, they're writing on the back and the front of every page. So this would be the back of a page, and this would be the front of a page. So you need to write on the back and the front of every single page, all right? And again, hey, here's the notes. Drew a line, boom, entry activity, and then they filled in the entry activity down here. This is how it should look. And again, the reason this is so white and the writing is so dark is because this is another screenshot of a PDF. And I just wanted to make sure that you guys see the difference of why teachers are requesting that, because it cleans everything up and then it makes it easy for the teacher to read. And then if it's easier for us to read, it's easier for us to grade. Now, I just want to make sure, did you really just ask if we have to write in complete sentences? Hopefully you're getting the point, okay? Write in complete sentences. No, you do not have to write the question. Write in complete sentences. And here's just a double down on that. always write in complete sentences unless Mr. Farr tells you it's okay. Every once in a while, I'll be like, hey, just a list, right? Boom, boom, boom. So you can just do that. But other than that, always assume it's in complete sentences, okay?